Aries, welcome to your December reading. Okay, this is your card. Your first card. Failure is a side effect of effort and can be learned from. Okay, that's a biggie to start with, my lovely Aries. Let me make sure my camera is focusing. So, beautiful souls, we're doing an angel reading today. This is your monthly angel reading, and we are looking at the month of December. And my beautiful souls, I will be doing extended readings as well if you want to do a deeper dive. So, let's ask Archangel Michael for my lovely Aries, what is this about? Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. I feel like you're going to have a voice in December, my lovely Aries. Your loved ones are safe. Let go of fear and worry. And someone new is coming. Do you know, I am feeling inclined to continue drawing Archangel Michael cards for you, Aries. Because I had no fixed approach to these readings. Make a decision. Are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance, pointing you towards your own joy. You deserve it. Open your heart and mind so happiness can enter your life. I'm seeing sort of two very distinct elements to your reading, my lovely Aries. And I'm sort of, clearly this is a December reading, so we're talking about, all areas of your life, all areas of your world. I feel as though there is an energy around you, in general terms, where you're processing something that hasn't worked out, and it could be things that haven't worked out over a long period of time, something you've been waiting for, or it could be something that's really around you now, relatively recent history. But I think you have a residue of kind of almost, I venture to use the word trauma, okay? And I'll be quite specific about this. Trauma from past events. And when I say trauma, for some of you it could literally be really a big event or a series of big events. But this is also connected to what I personally call the trauma of normality. Now, as a therapist, or a therapist in my former life, full-time therapist in my former life, what I call the trauma of normality is when things consistently aren't okay. It's like growing up, even in a household. If you grow up in a household where people don't relate to you, and that's not your fault, that's the history, that's the world they've come from, maybe they're not emotionally available, or they're struggling with their own issues, but you don't get responded to, and your basic needs are met, but you're not being responded to either emotionally or responsively. You could it's almost as if you kind of, beyond functionality, you don't exist. And that's traumatic. And it's not seen as traumatic because it's not like one big catastrophic event. But it's traumatic because it's consistently either stifling you or eroding you. And I think for some of you, you've experienced what I call this, the trauma of normality, things that haven't run well. For some of you, there's been some very big events, and for others, there has been a series of events that almost compounded a perspective or a fear around what may or may not happen. When we get into the territory of all of that, what I would call the what-if thinking, which is very much connected to anxiety and fear. If you're new to me and my channel, there is an amazing book called Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness, which will teach you about your emotions, including the kind of relationship between your emotions and your mind and how they can trigger each other. It happens to be my book. Thank you so much to those of you who I know have purchased it and found it helpful. And you can also check out my free online library, The A to Z of Emotional Health, which will, again, it's a resource that's loaded with stuff to help with emotions. But yeah, I'll put the links in the description box below. But if you are struggling emotionally, or you want to understand emotions and how the relationship between your emotions and your thinking patterns, it's a good book, truly. And it came from many years of experience of working with people. Waffling away here, but the point is you have some kind of residue of trauma. And I think what's happening in December is that there's a kind of a shift here, which is really rather lovely. And the shift is bringing things into balance. And the balance is literally about you knowing your true worth, you not worrying about what may or may not happen, being able to embrace possibility in the here and now and literally be yourself. There's some element of trauma that has either squashed you, stifled you, stopped you from being you. And I think that's what's changing. Okay, we have moonlit path, intuition and the unconscious mind. Look at the pathways here. Hidden garden, inner beauty, hidden talents. Lovely Aries, this is a very personal month for you. I know every month is personal, that's probably a strange thing to say, but hopefully you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. Aries, this is a month when things will unfold for you. A pathway is being shown to you that takes you away from, kind of like the failures of the past. It doesn't change what's happened, but your perspective on what has happened changes. Your relationship to the past changes. Bear with me, I'm actually just going to press the pause button. I'm just going to make a couple of notes here. Okay, my lovely Aries, I literally just pressed the pause there for a moment and I just made a couple of notes because in the extended, I will dive deeper into this, look at what this is about and specifically how is this pathway being illuminated for you? How's the gateway being opened? We'll find out about this. What else can we be shown? Let's ask the archangels. We have 10 of Ariel. There is so very much to be grateful for. Financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. This is across the board that things are changing for you. I think because this is such a monumental shift for you. Yeah, look at this, the Chariot. It's moving fast as well. I mean, the Chariot is all about overcoming challenges. We have King of Raphael. How interesting. Underneath, someone new is coming. King of Raphael, warm, generous, honourable, refined. Yes, it's safe to trust. Now, Raphael, the Archangel Raphael, does sometimes arrive in the form of a person. Now, this could be a friend. It could be a relationship, as in intimacy, a love interest. It could be a working colleague. But I feel that someone, maybe that's actually what we're already being shown, but we'll ask more in the extendeds, that the pathway to some extent, what shifts here is having a connection with someone. Look at this. And it takes you away from where you are. There's something better waiting. Yeah, look at this. Are you choosing to prioritise yourself or another in this situation? Again, that's something I think we'll look at more, but we'll still follow this through now, is because it feels for me as if something hangs in the balance here. Almost as though you could, it's not exactly have a conflict of interest, Aries, but something wonderful presents itself. Do you go for it or do you stay with your, I don't know, your kind of current pathway? Or I feel there'll be a dilemma or a conflict of interest, or how do you balance something here? May we ask for another card? Then there is your card. Epiphany. Ooh. Love it. Okay. This is an interesting month for you, lovely Aries. I do think you will get a bit of an epiphany. Something will, it's like the penny will drop. You know, when I think the shift occurs because of the influence of someone, whoever they are. And I think it shows you that it's like you can cross a bridge. You can leave something behind. or the past behind, or a trauma behind. But that's a biggie, isn't it? It's a really big deal to, if you've been hurt, let's say, for example, to trust. To really say, do you know what? I know in my heart of hearts this is what I want, so I'm going to take a risk. But there's going to be some kind of an epiphany coming in here. Answers that come through meditation, joy through spiritual growth, Archangel Raziel. Yeah, I think somehow there'll be a moment when the penny drops and you will know the pathway that you want to take. It's like something, there's a realization. It could literally be one of those realizations where you're like, do you know what? I can't keep thinking this way. Or do you know what? It's like, I'm going down that road of what if thinking again, and it's getting in the way. There'll be a moment of realization, and I think you'll be in a position to make a choice that prioritizes you. And in a way, having the heads up, it's partly the purpose of these readings, is to give you the heads up of these kinds of things. So you approach the month with awareness. Also, of course, it's also about, personally, I find it quite valuable to come back to readings during the month. If I find I'm having a wobble and I come back to a reading, and there it is making sense right now, and I'm like, wow, here I am. That can be really helpful. So remember, you can check these readings out on the homepage at any time during the month if you feel you need to kind of get recentered and just reconnect with the key messages. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting month for you, my lovely Aries. Beautiful souls, I'm actually going to move to the extendeds. And I'll just do a deeper dive and find out a bit more, as much information as I can get for you about what this is, how this happens, or who's coming in, and just see what might be in the way. How does the penny drop? What can you do to kind of empower yourself to navigate this month to the absolute fullest for you? Aries, my beautiful souls, thank you so much for joining me. I should have said at the start, these readings are good for your sun sign, your moon sign, I would also check out your ascendant or your rising sign if you know it. And if you have any number of planets in a particular sign, the readings are worth checking in for those as well. Beautiful souls, the extendeds are available in the YouTube membership area here, and thank you all who support the channel through membership, and also on Patreon as well. Tons of love, Aries. Have a fantastic December.